WTBwJandC, episode 13. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Just getting a bottle of water right after we start recording. Maybe. I'm trying to be as noisy as I possibly can at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So got a late podcast this week.
No doubt. That's my fault.
Due to mechanical errors.
It's always my fault. Just assume that. Yeah, my car crapped out on me last week and I still haven't gotten it fixed because they gave me the wrong part. Called O'Reilly's. And they were like... the bearing in my tensioner pulley went out. This is making my belt squeak, which ultimately led it to snap and screwed up all that stuff in there. So I got everything else fixed. I got the belt back in there, and I got all this stuff all greased up. And anyway, so I ordered a new tensioner pulley, and they sent it. It took a couple of days to get there, and I was going to put it in today, and it's the wrong freaking size. What are you gonna do? So we spent like most of the afternoon trying to figure out a way to redneck it in there. A couple of shims, some washers, because it was touching the mount plate, so we're just trying to pick it up a little bit so it'd be a gap. And that was a whole problem because it's metric. So none of the washers we had here fit. Anyways, it's been this whole deal. And we were pulling it off. We were pulling the thing apart to replace the pulley because all I got was the pulley. You could buy the whole setup and just install that, and it's way easier, but it's $218.
Yeah.
And the pulley's just $25. So.
Heard.
Bit of a no-brainer there for me. Broke me, anyway. So we got all that stuff out. We got the original tensioner out, and you have to take the bolt out to put the new one on. And this bolt would not come out, like, for anything. It's like, I'm not asking anymore. So eventually we welded a washer to the end of the bolt and then welded a nut to that washer. And then we put this big 2-foot breaker bar on it. And it broke loose, but the bolt's ruined.
Okay.
So I went out and got another bolt this morning. And it's just been a whole deal. I looked down at my clock. It was like 3:30. Like, shit, I've been doing this all day. Anyways, here we are. What are you going to do?
And here we are.
How's your fucking week been?
Just a lot of working, man. Been working extra hours.
What for?
People keep calling in.
Bastards.
I know, right?
Are they sick or are they just trying to do stuff?
Me being the nice person that I am.
You are a wonderfully nice person.
Working extra hours to make up for it. Getting that sweet overtime.
That sweet, sweet OT. It's got to be nice. You're going to get a fat-ass check. I love it. Where are you going to take me for our anniversary?
I don't know. McDonald's?
Word. They don't have Pepsi at McDonald's.
Good.
It's our anniversary. He'll have a Pepsi. It's just working?
Pretty much, yeah.
Man,
getting episode 2 of Halo ready to come out Monday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've been editing on that. God, I'm such a piece of crap. I'm not helping for any of this.
Did you even download the editing software?
Are infinitely busier than me. No. I haven't even looked at it, man. Because I haven't even turned on my computer in like a month.
Well, turn it on!
Well, that's the gaming computer and that's the editing computer.
You can use them for the same thing.
Nah, we don't do that.
And you want to use the more powerful computer with the better graphics card for editing. Anyway.
But all my stuff is on that other one.
What stuff?
Like, literally everything. The only thing that's on my gaming computer right now is like 4 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
All you need to do is download one software onto it.
That's too much.
Because you want to use the better graphics card and processor.
Yeah. I gotta get a memory for that too, because the memory's full.
On your gaming computer?
Mm-hmm.
With 4 games, it's full.
Yeah.
How much memory is on that computer?
Not a lot, like 500 gigs.
That's not a lot. But that's still not 4 games. You got other stuff on there then.
Well, I mean, there's all the stuff that comes loaded into the hard drive and all that. But
that's still not going to be 500 gigs.
What do you want me to do, man? I'm just telling you what I know.
Just telling you that what you know is incorrect.
You're full of it. No, I mean,
It's memory is either not full or you got way more than those 4 games and Windows on there.
I do have Chrome on there. And Steam. I don't know, man. It's not completely full, but Daniel told me not to put very much on there. He told me I couldn't put more than one game on there at a time.
Then that doesn't have a 500 gig hard drive.
It might have like a 250 or something in it. I don't know. I turned it on, I downloaded 7, and then I haven't turned it back on.
Need to play 7, man.
If it was a better game, I would.
It's a decent game. It's not the best game.
Not the best game.
And Daniel did turn down the difficulty because he also realized it was too difficult and how he had it.
He gave me a little cheap shot last night. He was like, 3 people have complained that the difficulty's too high, so I'll have to turn it down for them and you and the girls.
You're like on Ellie's level of gaming.
I am on 7. I don't understand or even like that game.
It's just a FPS. I mean, in the end.
Yeah. Nah. What are you gonna do?
Get better at FPSs, man.
I'm still figuring out Minecraft.
Very similar game.
It is quite similar. It's just it's Minecraft plus all the shit I don't like. Like zombies.
Zombies are in Minecraft.
Those aren't zombies. Those are roving blocks that move around and make noise.
They're literally called zombies.
And
they moan like zombies.
Well, 7's scarier, and I'm a bit of a wuss. I don't like scary things.
That's true.
Mostly just because I think they're stupid. The reason I don't like scary movies, I think they're really dumb. Like, they're not good movies. It's not a good genre.
You just get scared and you don't like it.
No, that's not it. I mean, that's part of it, but no, I think they're fucking dumb, and that's why I don't watch them. It's bad. It's bad acting, bad writing, bad plot.
You're watching some really B movies, I think.
Most of the time, yeah. There are a couple of scary movies that I did enjoy. Actually, the first Paranormal Activity, that scared the piss out of me. But it was such a terrible movie. I enjoyed it because it was garbage. I don't know, it was a weird one. I remember looking at it fondly. I haven't watched it in like 10 years, but I remember looking at that movie fondly. And then The Exorcist was not The Exorcist. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That was a well done kind of horror movie.
Yeah, well, that was like a blockbuster horror movie. That wasn't some B movie that just comes out on Netflix, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's pretty much it, man. The rest of them are stupid. Like all the Jasons and Friday 13ths, and those are so stupid.
Jason and Friday the 13th is the same movie.
I know. I meant to say Freddy and all the Friday the 13th movies. They're stupid. They're just dumb movies. If they were good, there wouldn't be naked people in them.
That's not true.
They would need that to push the movie.
There's plenty of good movies with naked people in them.
Yeah, but scary movies need naked people so people will watch their shitty movie. That's my theory. Whatever.
I mean, nudity in any movie is like a selling point they're trying to use to get people to watch it.
Of course. Because the director watched the final end of that movie and it's like, man, what a terrible fucking movie. We better throw some boobs in here so people will watch it. That's my theory. I don't like scary movies. Part of it's because I'm kind of a bitch. But most of it is because they're just really stupid. But a lot of times I find they're stupid on purpose. And zombies is probably my least favorite of the horror genre.
Really?
Yeah, that is the dumbest shit in the world to me.
I like The Walking Dead. That was a good show.
It was a garbage show full of garbage people that make garbage decisions.
They don't make the best decisions all the time. But that could be true for any movie when they got to move the plot along. You know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Not even horror movies, action movies, comedy movies. People make dumb decisions all the time.
Oh, yeah, just to move the plot. But in scary movies, it's almost a requirement to make a bad decision to move the plot along.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever watch Cabin in the Woods?
I did a long time ago.
That's actually one of my favorites.
It was a funny, scary movie.
Yeah. Well, it's not even really a comedy. It's just, it tries to explain all the tropes of the horror genre.
Yeah.
Like people making dumb decisions, like splitting up.
It's almost a spoof, but it's not.
Because there's these people behind the scenes controlling everything.
Mm-hmm. Who had the giant snakes? Yeah. No, that was funny, but I only ever watched it once, and that was enough for me. I also watched Saw, which isn't really horror, it's more like gore.
Yeah, I never liked the Saw movies.
The Saw movies, thank you.
But yeah, because it's not even a horror movie, it's just a gore movie. And I don't like those.
No, that's terrible. And that's what most zombie movies are to me, is just gore.
A lot of zombie movies are, especially the B ones.
Yeah.
But like Dawn of the Dead, that was really good. And while it is a little gory, it's just a good movie.
Shaun of the Dead's more my
It's
speed.
more of an action movie. Yeah, and Shaun of the Dead, that was a good one too.
Shaun of the Dead's more my speed.
That's just because it's a comedy.
Make me laugh.
Where Dawn of the Dead was meant to be like a more serious action horror movie.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to make a legitimate zombie movie, but legit zombie movies are really dumb.
Oh, Dawn of the Dead was good. And The Walking Dead was good. Shaun of the Dead was great.
Shaun of the Dead was great. That's a zombie movie I'd watch. It's the only really kind of like horror movie I've ever watched more than once.
That's not true.
Tucker and Dale,
You've
maybe.
watched Tucker and Dale several times.
That's not a horror movie.
It's a horror comedy.
Maybe. A dash of horror.
It's literally a slasher comedy film.
Yeah, I guess the end does get kind of slashy with Bro Douche.
Well, the whole point is the kids think that Tucker and Dale are the murderers.
Yeah, it's an interesting like little plot twist.
Yeah.
On a really played out genre of movies. You're never gonna get me to like them. They're so stupid.
I'm not trying to get you to like them.
I know. I do have to defend this position a lot to people. It's like, oh, you don't like scary movies? No, I don't. It's like, oh, how do you feel about Halloween? It's a fucking dumb holiday.
I like Halloween.
I never did.
Get to scare little kids.
I hate candy. I hate being scared. It was a dumb holiday for me, man. I do like drinking, so it became better as I became an adult. But beyond that, just drinking and sluts, that's my kind of Halloween party.
I mean, that's most Halloween parties.
Yeah, that's why I like them now. Dumb holiday, great parties. Everybody's all like, time to get spooky. I'm like, grow up. It's a very bad thing about me that I've come to peace with.
Some people enjoy being scared, man.
Some people like it. I'm not one of them people, man.
Gives you an adrenaline rush.
You want an adrenaline rush? Yell at your girlfriend. Just see what happens.
No. That's not going to be an adrenaline rush.
Not your girlfriend. Your abusive girlfriend. The biggest rush I ever had was when I finally lost my temper in front of Liz and yelled back at her. I caught a little buzz off of it, man. I was freaking out.
Yeah, see that buzz. That's what that's what some people get when they watch like horror movies, because it scares them.
Nah, not me, man.
And they get that adrenaline rush.
Ain't about that life.
Some people jump out of planes to get it. I wouldn't do that either. That's dumb.
I would jump out of a plane just for the experience, but not to be scared.
Well, that's the experience.
I don't think I would be scared. It's like once you jump, like it either goes right or it's not a problem.
Man, it's still going to scare you. And it's going to cause your fight or flight response.
Oh, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Physiologically, I would respond.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, those master jumpers ever just, like, yawn as they're jumping out of a plane?
Oh, fuck,
here we go again.
Once they do it so many times, eventually, it loses its effect.
Sure. You gotta find something else to scare the shit out of yourself with. Why? Why is that a way to live? I don't know.
Your body's a weird thing, man.
Body's a weird thing.
Hormones,
the mind
chemicals,
is a weird thing.
They do strange things to us. And sometimes people do stuff to elicit certain responses.
Sure. What do you do? Because I know you're not scared of scary movies.
Some scary movies are scary.
Like what? What are you scared of? What have you been?
As far as scary movies that were legitimately scary, like The Conjuring, it legitimately was. It was creepy. It was scary.
Sure. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
The Amityville Horror.
Never saw that one.
Like those were Like, they were legitimately, like, if you watch those in a dark room, like, you'd be scared.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like jump scares? Like make you think scared?
Well, I mean, there's some jump scares in them because that's just a thing.
Well, yeah, that's a scary movie, but there's jump scares. Like what I mean, is it more like Friday the 13th, or is it more like The Exorcism?
More like The Exorcism.
Okay.
Which I've never actually watched The Exorcism Emily Rose, but I do hear that it is a really good horror
It was
movie.
a really well done movie.
You know, it's based off a true story.
I did. The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
No, they changed her name
Yeah.
of the girl that the actual exorcism. It was in Germany too, the real one. I forget her name.
Who
But
knows?
anyway,
Jamie, can we pull that up? I don't know.
I
didn't know they changed their name either.
I did listen to like an excerpt from the actual exorcisms though, and
Really?
they were really creepy. Yeah.
Trippy, right?
The real recordings.
Annalise Michael.
Ah, yes, Annalise. That was the name of the actual girl.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was a creepy movie.
But I guess there's a scene in the movie where she like names off the different demons that are possessing her.
Oh, yeah. And it was the actual audio from
And it was the actual audio.
Yeah, they clipped
where
it in.
She was not in the movie. In the movie, it's not. But the clip that I listened to was clips of her naming off the different demons that were inside her. Actual Annalise.
Nope.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy.
Nope. I probably couldn't watch
She's also
that.
speaking in German, though, so you can't really understand it, but it's very creepy sounding.
Sure. Well, German kind of sounds like tongues anyway.
That's true. German does kind of sound like that, especially in
It's real guttural.
the voice that she was using, because she was using that voice.
Yeah, for sure. So, who knows? Do you believe in that kind of stuff? Demons and whatnot?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had any experiences with it in real life.
I've heard some pretty convincing testimonies. I don't know. I don't think believe in that fully.
I've met a lot of people that do truly believe
Yeah.
that they've seen ghosts or had paranormal experiences. Mm-hmm. But I personally have never experienced anything that I was just like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah. And there are things in the world that are unexplained or unexplainable. That the people it happened to, like, they're very, very convinced that was real. It really happened.
Yeah. Well, something really happened.
Now, something did happen. They're confused about maybe the mechanism through which it happened, but maybe they're not. Maybe we're all just non-believers.
Michael, he kind of liked our scary stories and mysteries and stuff we told. He
Oh,
said
yeah.
We should make that a recurring segment called like the Creepy Corner.
My least favorite subject. Yeah. That could be the whole thing. It would just be me reacting to scary shit.
He said he likes your reactions to them.
I don't. God, I hate being scared, man.
The lighthouse gets you because you're not even safe on land.
I've watched
from the
that
sea.
video at least 6 times since that podcast. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've watched that same video. I'm sitting there just watching it late at night trying to figure it out. They didn't go... I just sit there and make dumb faces. It bothers me because all their stuff was still there. They went outside without their jackets in the worst storm ever. Big rock got moved. Steel railing was bent over. The dock was all jacked up. And they're just like, peace. No traces. People really do disappear without a trace. That happens. It's like 500,000 a year in the United States alone. People just disappear.
Oh yeah, people just disappear all the time, especially in national parks. That's like a thing.
Really?
Since I've been getting into mysteries and stuff, I see that a lot popping up. Because some of our like national forests and stuff are absolutely massive.
Oh yeah. We live right next to one of the biggest in the world, and that's Yellowstone.
Yeah. So obviously people go missing a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not really that crazy just because people who don't know what they're doing go out in the woods, they get lost. The forest is the size of some countries, and they never make it back out.
Yeah. So that's something that people don't really realize about going into the woods, especially around here, because there's not a lot of woods.
It's true.
It's so fucking easy to get lost.
Oh, it's very easy to get lost.
super duper easy to get lost.
But there is a collection of people going missing in national forests that are like it's a collection of weird missing stories.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Okay.
But this isn't just like people from the city going off the trail and getting lost. This is like people, it's like kids that are being watched by their parents, and their parents look away for half a second, and then their kid just disappears without a trace and is never found again.
Wow.
Or people that get lost and then are found like miles and miles away from where they were lost in places that are difficult for even the rangers to get to find them.
Do they have any memory of how they got
A
there?
lot of times those people are found dead. Like they find their body, but their body is in like a crazy place that they shouldn't have been able to get to from where they were.
Maybe an animal carried them there. Like there's bears and lions and stuff in those national parks. Big cats.
There is. And that's possible, but a lot of times they don't have the injuries that would be associated with like a predator getting them.
Maybe they found their body
I
already
do
dead.
remember there was one kid, I think they were like 10 years old or 12 years old or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they went missing. And yeah, unfortunately, it was their body that was found like a couple of days later. But their body was like miles away from where they were last seen.
Okay.
And it had only been 2 days. So, and it was crazy because everyone, like the ranger stuff, said that it would be difficult for an experienced like person, like a ranger, to make that trip in 2 days.
So there's no way they should have been
And there's no way that 12-year-old should have been able to get that far. And even the dude who did Survivor Man,
Yeah.
he tried to make the trek. Like he started where the boy was last seen and then tried to make it to where the boy was found, and he couldn't do it. Not in 2 days.
Wow.
He didn't make it.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's weird. Stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that is weird.
That's real fear. That's legitimate. You're supposed to be scared of stuff like that happening.
Yeah.
I can find my way around in the woods pretty good, but like mountainous terrain is a whole new ball game for me. I don't travel very far when I'm camping or hunting.
Yeah.
I'll walk like maybe a mile or two, but nothing longer than like a 30 or 40 minute walk back to camp.
Well, yeah, and you shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't walk very far
No,
away from
and
camp.
even then, I'm
especially
pretty sketched
if you
out.
don't know the area and there's
Yeah.
not like
Well,
a
I've been-
trail to follow.
Yeah, I've been hunting the same place for years, but yeah, it's pretty sketchy sometimes.
Because that's a lot of it. It's a lot of people going hiking in places that they've never been before.
Right.
And then,
You just take some like bright ribbon and tie it around trees as you go.
well, not everybody does that.
I mean, well, that's how you'd not get lost. Like that's what I did the first time. The first year I went up there camping, I took ribbon and I tied off trees until I found my spot so I could get back to camp. Because I was traveling pretty far. Far enough where it was actually making me nervous. I was like, damn. If I fall and trip or something, like, it's going to take me all day to get back to camp.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff worries me. And now it worries me even more.
Oh, yeah, now. Like, that's a serious threat.
So I might just be road hunting for the rest of my life. No, I would like to get back out there and go camping and hiking and stuff, but right now it just seems
It's going to be a little while.
like it's never going to happen.
It's going to be a little while. We'll get there, though.
I know.
Just stick to the trails.
Just give her time.
Take a phone with you.
Definitely take a phone. Take a GPS. I've heard that if you're out in the mountains and out of cell phone service or whatever and you dial 911, that it'll link up to the satellites
Yeah.
instead of the cell towers.
So 911 is like special. Like if you dial 911 on any phone, it connects to any possible connection nearby.
Yeah.
Not just your service
It's an
provider's
emergency
connection.
frequency. So it can bounce off of anything.
Yeah, so anything that could pick up your cell phone will pick up your cell phone if you're
Word.
in range of it.
Yeah, I guess if you're in
Not
range.
just your normal service.
Word.
Another one I heard. This one actually happened in Arkansas, which is pretty cool.
You and these creepy ass stories, man. All right, lay it on me.
It was a couple, and they were out hiking, and I forget where they were at. I just remember it was in Arkansas. That's why I clicked on it.
Probably out in the Ozarks.
But anyway, they had their dog with them, which I forget the breed of dog, but it was like a big dog.
Big dog.
Yeah. And it was like a several day hike, so they were a couple days in at this point. And they were camping out in a clearing, and their dog started acting up like it could hear something out of the tent. Had its ears perked up, searching around.
Like a dog do in the woods.
Like a dog does, yeah. Anyway, but it's doing it for a while. So eventually the guy, he kind of opens up the tent, takes his flashlight and kind of gets out, looks around. He doesn't see anything. He has a gun. Like they are carrying guns with them.
I was just imagining doing that and seeing like 30 eyes in the darkness. Oh, shit. Wolves.
Go back in the tent.
They can't get me. I'm in a tent. Anyways. So he's flashing his light. He's got a gun.
So he's flashing his light. He has a gun with him. Yeah, and they have two guns. Each of them has a gun, which they carry out in the woods with them. And they're looking around, and he keeps thinking he sees movement off in the trees. But he can't ever get a good glimpse of it to see what it is, and he's not really hearing anything.
Obviously, it's Bigfoot.
So it's Bigfoot. No. Eventually, the wife also gets up because she noticed because he's up walking around outside the tent. So she wakes up. And she comes out of the tent, and they're both kind of standing around looking. And then they see like a flash of movement really quick that looks like something really big that just like darted across the clearing away from their tent.
Did they hear anything? Like twigs snapping, leaves rustling?
Yeah, they start hearing a little bit of sounds like that. And so at this point, they're both kind of standing out there. They both got their flashlights out, looking around. And again, they see this something large, like dart really quickly, like through the clearing, like behind their tent.
Nope.
But they never get a good look at what it is. They just know whatever it is very quick and very large.
All the criteria for me leaving that spot have already been met. I'm gone, dude. I ain't staying
Well, it's the middle of the night. This is like 2 a.m.
Well, guess what I'm doing at 2 a.m? I'm leaving.
Walking off in the middle of the woods at night.
No, that ain't me, dude. I don't live like that. I bring like floodlights and lanterns and shit when I go camping. My whole area is lit up.
Anyway, eventually, the girl fires off a shot at something when she sees it moving.
Okay.
And she hears like a loud yelp and growling.
You said that, and in my mind, all I imagined was like she shot, and then the darkness she heard, "Oh fuck!"
No. And then whatever it is, they hear a lot of loud running away from their camp after that.
That's what I'd be doing.
But it was in multiple directions. So now they realize there was multiple things around the camp.
It's probably wolves or something.
Probably.
Arkansas's got wolves.
Arkansas has wolves. Arkansas has mountain lions, too.
Yeah, but mountain lions don't usually run in together.
That's true.
They're solitary critters. And they don't attack
By the way,
people. Well, yeah, they do.
they don't want to go trekking through the woods in the middle of the night.
No, objective 1 was to scare that thing away.
So they just end up basically staying up all night back to back with their guns next to the fire.
Right? Flash forward a couple
Waiting till
thousand
the
years,
morning.
guys. This is why we live in houses.
And in the morning, yeah, they break camp and they just beeline it out,
Yeah.
which still takes like more than a day.
Sure.
Like they end up having to walk through the next night, but at that point they're back on the trails, so they're just using their headlamps and walking through the night
Oh, okay.
to get out. But they still hear stuff following them off in the woods to both sides. Though they never do catch a glimpse of it, but it does sound like it's getting closer to them. And so eventually the guy just takes a shot off into the woods.
Yeah, just start firing shots, dude.
And then they hear something running away again. Eventually, they make it out of the woods after that. The next day, they do come back with several friends and four-wheelers this time, so they can get there quickly. They go back to their original campsite, and they find a blood trail that starts behind their tent.
Oh, she hit that thing.
So she hit the thing, and there was a lot of blood. And they followed it for about 200 yards,
Uh-huh.
and eventually they lose the trail.
Shit, dude. I would have collected some of it and took it to a university. Like, tell me what kind of blood this is. I was like, we've never seen anything like this before, ever. I was like, oh, shit! It's a Bigfoot!
But yeah. But they were pretty experienced, like hunters and outdoorsmen. Anyway.
Well, yeah, they hit
and
something
there
in the
was
dark
a
that moves
lot
fast.
of blood.
Yeah,
Go to
she
that
hit it
blood
good.
trail. So whatever it was, like it had to have been huge to survive the
That
shot
much
from
blood.
that gun and to lose that much blood.
Yeah. A lot of blood.
But yet to this day, they don't know what the hell it was.
Dude, I am... Like, I don't even argue. There's probably stuff... No, absolutely. There's stuff that we don't know exists that lives in the deepest parts of the woods, you know?
Probably. I mean, they find new species of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Usually,
the bottom of the ocean.
usually it's insects or something in the ocean.
Something small, yeah.
But
easy to miss. But there could be some breed of wolf or some thing out there that just doesn't wander.
that's true. And like I said, the forests are massive. People don't travel into the deep parts of them that often, you know.
No, we
There
stick
is
towards the
possible
edges.
that there are some big creatures that's still in there that we don't know about.
Yeah. Especially where we are, because this, like, there's parts of the Northwest United States where man has just never been. Just covered in forest.
Yeah.
There's so much land out here that it's easier just to make it public, national forest land. Like, okay, this is forest land. We're just not going to develop this because it's mountainous and there's tons of trees and wildlife and whatever. But it goes for thousands and thousands and thousands of acres.
Yeah.
Like the Frank Church Wilderness area. That's just... It looked the exact same 1,000 years ago. Yeah, this same stuff's still swimming around up there. That kind of stuff freaks me out. It really does. Like going out into the woods, especially in like the Frank Church, that freaks me out because I know what's out there. There's cats, there's wolves, there's bears.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there that you don't want to find when you go out there.
No, I want to find like a deer or an elk. That's what I'm after. Bears can fuck off. I got no quarrel with bears. They keep their distance, I keep mine. That's the deal.
That's the deal, all right?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of bears in the wild. It's pretty trippy because, like, they're so much bigger than you think.
I think they're pretty big.
They are.
I've seen them in zoos.
They're pretty big.
Like, I realize they're large animals.
Yeah. Like a 300-pound black bear is a pretty good-sized black bear. Like, imagine how big a 300-pound person is. Like,
Yeah.
it's big. It's bigger when it's a bear. A 300-pound bear is huge. But yeah, so up there's also grizzlies. There are grizzlies in Idaho. Not a lot of them, but they're here. And they are large. It's a large animal. It's probably the biggest animal I've ever seen accidentally.
Yeah, the biggest bear is a polar bear.
I've never seen a polar bear.
Polar bears are the largest. Well, we don't have them in Idaho very much.
That's funny.
But
Aren't polar bears just white
they are
grizzlies?
like the largest land predator in the world is a polar bear.
I've heard that somewhere. They stand like 15 feet tall or something like that, the bigger ones.
Yeah, I think average they stand about 10 feet tall on their hind legs.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I thought grizzlies were like 12.
Well, grizzly could get to 12 probably, but that's not the average.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, averages.
Like a usual adult polar bear stands about 10 feet tall, the size of a basketball goal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it's more than 5, I'm fucked. Buttons could probably mess me up right now, man. I was thinking about that today. I went to Emmett for car parts, and on my way back... Oh, excuse me. Me and Pat were talking. I was like, man, if anyone or anything just decided to fight me, I can't do anything about it. It's an uneasy feeling. It's like, I think that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from. It's like, I am totally dependent on others right now to protect myself. But I don't have a lot of enemies, so works out.
It does work out. Not having enemies. Safest thing you can do.
That's the best defense you can come up with. Just make sure everybody likes you. I have a loyal army of friends. Ugh. We gotta quit talking about scary stuff, dude.
You want me to talk about something else?
Yep.
You want to talk about something scary?
Nope. I hate you. I don't like you anymore. You're not my friend. We're just business associates now.
Fair enough.
All right, good. Fuck you.
See if I protect you.
No doubt. Dude, my uncle brought out his kettle corn stuff today.
Yeah.
And him and Mom I think, are going to do kettle corn at the 4th of July. Kettle corn and froyo. And
it is the 4th of July.
Happy 4th, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, happy 4th.
You won't hear this until probably the 6th, or the 5th.
5th. I'll have it out tomorrow.
I forgot that the number 5 existed for a second. I really did. It's like, it'll be on tomorrow on the 6th. Sorry if your birthday is July 5th. You're not real to me. What you gonna do?
But anyway, it is the 5th. And they're still here. So they're not selling kettle corn.
They will in Middleton tonight.
Tonight.
Oh, something else I thought of that's kind of a milestone about hitting 30. We can now officially say back in the day.
Back in the day.
So back in the day. You have to be 30 to say that, I've heard.
Heard.
And I don't like it. I don't like the fact that I said it. I don't like being 30. It's not the best.
Ain't the worst.
It ain't the worst. It's not the fact that I'm 30. It's the fact that I'm 30 and my life is where it's at right now. Which was not my fault. Broke my legs. Lost everything. But it still happened, and I'm not happy about it. As everybody says, oh, it's not your fault. You'd be doing fine, yada, yada. But it happened.
But it did happen.
It did happen. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. To me, to the eyes of the law, that's a way different matter. Definitely counts whose fault it was. And workers' comp is trying to kick me off of workers' comp lately.
Are they?
They did. My physical therapist, they call like every week to see. He's like, oh yeah, how much do you think he's got before he can go back to work? You know.
Yeah.
And they're always like, it's gonna be a while. He can barely walk. It's like he can walk, but not for very far, not for very long. It's like, well, he could do a desk job. It's like, I don't have any desk job skills.
Yeah.
All my jobs are outside. They've always been. I like outside. I'd go crazy in a desk job. If I like work at a bank, I'm just some douche that works at a bank now. Sorry if you work at a bank. But I don't know. I'm going to have to suck it up, I think.
Well, you
really
just
trying.
become a professional podcaster, gamer, and then just spend your free time outside.
Well, it's perfect because I already live with my parents.
True.
That's sad. That's a bad stereotype that I have to get away from. 30-year-old podcaster. Yeah, I live in my parents' garage. What up?
To be fair, the only reason you live with your parents is because you broke your leg.
No, but it happened. That's the point.
Yeah. But the stereotype is that you live with your parents because you can't live on your own.
I don't know. I could
you
live
did
on my
live
own.
on your own for years, and then you broke your legs, and you had to move back in with your parents.
Yeah.
And once your legs are fixed, you're moving back out. You'll still be doing the podcast.
I put my security in something that wasn't secure.
Your legs?
No. It's just, like, usually when this happens to somebody, they have somebody there to, like, take care of them.
Yeah.
And I had Bree.
Your parents.
Well, I mean, like, somebody, not your parents. So I had Bree, and then she left when my legs broke.
To
I
be
was
fair,
like, oh, shit.
Even when your legs were broke, Bree couldn't have supported you.
She couldn't have supported me. That's not what I mean.
You would just, even if...
It's not the financial part. Just the actually, like, physically helping part. I had you.
Yeah.
And that was nice. And that worked out. But, I don't know. There was something about... It's when you're in a relationship, you feel important to somebody.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get that, but still, you would have still ended up back here.
Maybe. I was pretty close to, like, getting a place. Like, buying a house.
Well, yeah. Good thing you didn't, because you broke your legs.
Oh, my God. I would have lost everything. I did anyways, but I would have lost more than I did.
Yeah. So, I don't think that really changed where you ended up. because you probably would have still ended up
Maybe not.
having to move back here until your legs got better.
It would have helped with the crippling depression that I
It probably would have helped with that, yeah. But as far as where your life is at the moment, you'd probably still be in the same spot.
Physically. I agree. Probably.
Physically and financially, you'd still be in the same spot.
Yeah.
Because she didn't even have a job.
She kind of did. She worked when she wanted to and didn't make that much.
Yeah, she didn't have a
job.
She did some odd things every now and then.
You know what? Fuck her. I stuck up for her for years. That bitch had no job.
Yeah.
No goals, no ambitions. Nothing. I fucking loved her.
It'll happen sometimes.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'm trying not to bring up Overwatch.
Yeah, we did talk about that last time.
We talk about it a lot. And Michael, he told me that whenever we start talking about Overwatch and he realizes it's going to be a minute, he just starts skipping through the video.
Yeah, I've heard that
for 5 minutes at a time.
I've heard that from someone else. It's like, understood. I had something that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't write it down, and now I can't remember it.
That's a problem.
It is. I usually write them down. I do pretty good. But not this time.
Well, I'm going to freak you out with another scary story if you don't have anything to talk about.
No, I've got stuff. Dumb laws. What's a dumb law, you know?
There's a lot of dumb laws.
Like most of them.
Like most laws are dumb. Arbitrary.
Me too. And I had not an original thought, but I've been thinking a lot about it since I heard of it. It's like a sunset clause on laws. Like after 50 years or whatever, they just become null and void unless they're voted back in. Kind of a thing. Just like a sunset clause for dumb laws. Like when they're no longer applicable, they just fall away.
I don't know. I've never heard about that.
That's something that came up in another podcast I was listening to. There's Andrew Yang, I think, was talking about him. He's the Democratic presidential candidate until he dropped out.
Oh, yeah. I remember him.
Yeah, he was the guy that supported like the universal
basic
basic
he was the
income.
universal basic income guy.
Yeah. Which, it still sounds like a good idea to me. There's problems with it. Its biggest flaw is that it depends on people to work. In order for it to go smoothly, people have
Technically,
to use
society
that's
depends on people to work in order for it to function.
Not people to go to work. It requires people to do the right thing to keep it going, and people are not like that. We abuse things.
What right thing?
In order to qualify for it, there will be qualification criteria.
Yeah.
And if you're already getting assistance and that's deducted, so it works out to everybody's getting about $1,000 a month in his utopian design, just because it makes the numbers round and easy to work with. So if everybody had an extra $1,000 a month, like what would that do to the economy? What would it do for people like in general? What would it do to our healthcare costs? Stuff like that, you know? And he was making a lot of really strong points about it, and I found myself agreeing with a bunch of it. And it's got a high potential for abuse, which is the main problem, because it's going to be expensive.
Well, yeah. $1,000 a month for 300 million people.
It's quite a bit of money.
And that's quite a bit of money.
That's almost all of the entire United States budget for a year.
Yeah.
I get that. But, there were certain qualifiers. Like, I think felons weren't qualified for it. Like, if you can't own a gun, you weren't qualified for this. If you can't vote, you can't. Whatever it was. It's been a couple of weeks since I watched it. But the basic premise was pretty good. And Kurzgesagt did a breakdown of what a UBI would actually look like.
Yeah. And
it was really convincing. Like, they're like, is it the answer? Probably not right now, but towards the future as automation takes over, I think it's going to be our only choice. So there's going to be no jobs. That is a problem. Yeah, we'll still be able to produce a lot, but it's all automated. And not everybody wants to be a software tech, you know?
Well, there won't even be that many jobs for software techs.
Nah, you're going to have computers writing their own software for other computers. Eventually. There are computers that can do that.
Well, yeah.
That's like the cutting edge right now of AI. Computers that write their own programs to fill whatever function they need to do. But I think a lot. Mostly that's what I end up thinking about. Most of the time. It's like what the next 10 years is going to look like, you know? What's the world going to be like in 2030? So everybody says, like, and they keep pushing it off. So like in the year 2000, everybody said, you know, by 2010 we're gonna have AI. And then in 2010 they're like, well, by 2020
we have AI.
We have like a very crude version of AI.
I mean, there's very sophisticated AIs out there.
Actually, Amazon's Alexa is like the most sophisticated one commercially available.
Oh yeah, your little.
And it's really, really good. Like, I enjoy it. It's
your little government listening device you have in your room.
Yeah, actually, Amazon and Apple both have fought the government for privacy.
They have. It still records even when it's off, though.
Records.
It records what happens in your room.
It doesn't start recording until it hears the trigger word.
Yes, it does. It's been proven it does. Because
that's whatever. I'm already
hooked. The
hooked.
police have.
That's the Google Nest.
No, this is Alexa specifically. They have subpoenaed Alexa or Amazon for Alexa recordings from rooms that Alexas were in that were crime scenes because that records everything that's said. It's recorded us this entire time we've been talking. It's heard us.
Man.
That is now recorded by Amazon. They have this podcast. Unedited.
Unedited. Raw.
Dangerous.
My goodness. Well, Alexa won't.
Alexa won't, though. Yeah. Like I said, everything that's
now
been...
she's listening.
Well, now she's listening for commands.
Mm-hmm.
But
never mind.
She's always recording you, though.
Oh, so yeah, I've heard that. And I've had examples of, like, she had to be listening in order... I'll just tell you the story. So my dad got all gung-ho about this book that he read. He drove to Arkansas and back and listened to an Audible on the way. And he was all excited about it. He was trying to get everybody to read it. And he came in here and he was telling me about it. And he was like, man, you really need to check this book out. You really need to look at it for like 10 minutes. And I told him, I was like, okay, I'll put it on my list, you know. And then I asked my Dot, I was like, can you buy a book for me on Audible and download it to my phone? And she pulled up the name of the book we were talking about. She's like, all you got to do is say yes, and it'll be on your phone in like a couple of minutes. I was like, that's so...
Yeah, because she listens even when she's
invasive,
off.
Yeah.
When you say certain words, she listens for your commands for her to do stuff.
But
she's always listening, and Amazon records everything that happens.
Why do they record everything, though? Like, that's got to take up storage.
Data mining.
Useless data.
No, it's not. It's useful for advertisements, for knowing who you are, to know what ads to throw at you, what products to throw at you, to get you to buy.
I promise you this, the day that my Dot starts giving me commercials and advertisements is the day I throw it in the garbage.
She did. That book.
She wasn't advertising it to me, but she was listening to the conversations, like, oh, they're talking about books, so maybe he's talking about this book.
But yeah, well, Amazon connects to other stuff that you see ads on. Not necessarily ads coming through your Alexa.
I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with personalized advertising.
But either way, just know that while that thing is powered on, everything that is said in your room is recorded by Amazon. And the police can subpoena it, and have subpoenaed Amazon recordings before.
That's so weird.
From crime scenes where there was an Alexa present. That, I don't know.
That just seems to me like a waste of resources, because you have to store all that data.
They have lots of places to store. Data is valuable. They make a lot of money selling that to advertising companies.
Maybe. I wonder how often they delete it, because millions of people have these things. And it's just recording.
I don't know. It's just audio. It's just audio recordings, so they don't take up that much space, especially once they're compressed.
Yeah, and you can compress them all, but like,
Amazon is not hurting for storage space either.
Yes, it just seems like a waste of space.
To you.
To me. with my 250 gigabyte hard drive. My music takes up more than that. I have a lot of music and movies. So Kyle gave me the password to this thing called Plex. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's like an online digital data storage thing for movies and audio files.
Yeah.
He bought a 10 terabyte hard drive and there's only 3 terabytes left. And he gave me the password. He's like, I'm running my own streaming service. But it's pretty cool. Like, every movie you can think of is on there.
That's
bunch
cool.
of TV shows. It's really neat. It's just online data storage.
Right.
Weird.
Well, before we end this, I guess according to Michael's suggestion, I'm going to try and creep Cody out one last time.
Why? Why? This is only fun for you.
It's fun for our listeners.
Fuck them.
So,
All 6 of them.
a lady called 911, and this is a true story. I'm not making this one up. A lady called 911, and she was saying that she could hear footsteps and stuff in her house, like there was someone here, but she couldn't find anybody in her house. So she was calling for the cops to come out and check out her house for her.
Sure.
Yeah. And while she was on the line with 911, she locked for a minute, and she's like, there's someone in my backyard. And she had one of those sliding glass doors that looked into her backyard, and said that there's a man standing in my backyard looking at me.
Why did she call 911?
Because she could hear footsteps and stuff in her house.
Oh, okay, right. So there was a man in the backyard.
So there's a man in the backyard staring at her through this glass door.
While she's on the phone call.
While she's on the phone with 911.
Okay.
And so she stays on the phone because the operator says, stay on the line with us. The police are on their way. Mm-hmm. And she's like, he's just standing there staring at me, unmoving.
Creepy.
For several minutes while she's on the phone. And then eventually he walks away out of sight. And she goes to the door and looks out. Not opening the door, but looks out the door. And she can't find him. She says, I can't see him. I don't know where he is. And they're like, the police are almost there. Just hold tight. A couple minutes later, the police show up.
Stay away from the windows.
They come in. And so her and one cop are sitting in the front of the house. And he's taking her statement. The other cop goes out into the backyard to look around, see what's up.
Yeah.
And he can't find any trace of anyone being there. There's no footprints.
Sure.
Nothing. All the windows and doors were locked.
Sure.
And so he comes back in. It's we can't find anything. But then as he's looking, he does once around the house to look around, make sure everything's safe.
Yeah.
And he finds muddy footprints inside the house.
Okay.
And so it's worth noting now, this woman is really old. She's 80-something. She has bad vision, bad hearing.
Okay.
She wears really thick glasses, a hearing aid. And they were looking at the footprints. And the footprints lead through the dining room where that glass door is. Mm-hmm. And there's several of them there. So the cops realized she wasn't seeing a man in her backyard. She was seeing the reflection of the man in the glass door, who was actually standing 4 feet behind her in the kitchen.
Holy shit.
Watching her on the phone with 911 for several minutes.
Dude.
And then when she never got off the line, they figure he left.
Holy shit. That lady was about to die. Wow. How do you confuse a reflection?
Well, it's because she has bad eyesight.
Maybe, but is she also crazy?
Well, no. She looked at the glass door leading into the backyard, and there was a man standing there. Uh-huh. But because her eyesight's bad, she couldn't realize that it wasn't a guy in the backyard.
Okay.
It was just a reflection
of the guy standing behind her.
Of a guy standing behind her.
She couldn't see her own reflection?
Well, yeah, but she knew she was in the house.
I'm just saying.
Either way, she didn't put it together.
Okay.
But, yeah, the guy was actually a few feet behind her.
Holy
in the house with her.
Just waiting for her to hang up the phone.
Just waiting for her to hang up the phone.
Holy shit! No, thank you. I'm sorry if that got loud, but damn, dude. Imagine, what would happen if she turned around?
Luckily she didn't.
I was like, well, now I have to kill her. Yep, I'm freaked out. Don't like that. Not one bit. Not an old lady, but that guy could probably mess me up. All I have to do is like, hey, push. I'm going down. And I can't. Right. My killer would like knock me down on the ground. And I'd be like, can you help me up? I'm not going to run. I haven't ran in a year.
Well, alright guys. We'll leave it there. Cody's sufficiently freaked out.
It's freaked out.
Remember to hit that like button. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers.
Fuck, man, I just got to chill.
Chills running down Cody's back.
Anyways, hit that mystery bell, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't make fun of me.
See you guys next week.
Later.